Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we have a double unboxing video for you. I have two watches from AliExpress, so let's get started. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Glycine Combat Sub with the red date, which is really hard to read. And Greg was wearing my Dwayne Campbell 5011. I just reviewed that watch. If you haven't seen the review yet, go see it. I told Grogo that next month is St. Valentine's Day and Mrs. Watchdog might get me some candy. He said, "What about frog eggs?" I said, "I don't like frog eggs." He said, "Are you the watchdog?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Sometimes it's the dog eat frog world." All right, let's get this one open. I've had this one for a while, so I better get it open so I can tell AliExpress that I got it, so they don't get all upset at me. I don't like to confirm delivery until I've unboxed them in case there's an issue or in case I didn't get the watch right. So we have an Addiesdive here, and this is a fairly new one that I saw recently, so I was kind of interested in it. This is an unboxing. Looks like we have a sizing tool, so we're going to have push pins. Addiesdive, I don't think I've ever had screw pins. Then we have another unsigned warranty card that says Deep Sea Hunter. I wish they'd stop saying Deep Sea Hunter on their non-dive watches. And then we have a user manual, pretty big one. And then, of course, we have the case. These cases are really nice. I like these. A lot of different companies use this case. San Martin used to use them before they got all fancy. I think they came out with a newer budget line, though, that uses them. But here's the watch. Looks like we have a chronograph. And it looks like we don't have a running second hand. So this must be a VK64. I'm not the biggest fan of the VK64. I wish Seiko would come out with a Mecha Quartz movement with two registers that had a running second instead of the 24-hour one. I mean, the 24-hour register is so useless, and a running second register is very useful. So you got useless versus useful, and they chose useless. I know it was easier to make the VK64 as is because they basically took a VK63 and removed the running second hand at the 6. So that's how they did it. To make one with a running second hand at the 3 would require them to totally re-engineer a movement completely from scratch, and they didn't want to do that. And it looks like we have the newer style clasp with all those micro adjusts, and it's fully milled. Addiesdive used to always use press clasp, but they kind of upped their game, and so these clasps are a welcome addition to the Addiesdive line, and they are signed. But this is a nice 5-link bracelet, and it looks like it's fully articulating, so that's good. And it looks like we have a hang tag that I have to remove by either taking out a link or taking the clasp off or cut it. And I don't like cutting my hang tags. I like to include everything as is, so I'll just remove that later. And it looks like we do have some more plastic on the watch head. This watch head's pretty big. I'm kind of surprised. It's a little bit bigger than I was expecting. But there it is. And it looks, see, this is a chronograph though with a timing bezel. So I guess this would be considered to be a dive watch because of the timing bezel. Even though it's a chronograph, because you need a timing bezel for a dive watch because you're not going to use the chronograph underwater because you can't press the pushers. And it looks like the screw pushers though, the screws are fake. You can't unscrew it or screw it down. And there it is. Yes, this is a VK64 with the smooth sweep of the second of the chronograph hand. And it's a nice looking watch though. So let's put it on the wrist and see what it looks like. Here's the watch unsized, my 7.5-inch wrist. It's a nice looking watch. I like it. I think they did a good job with it. And as you can see, the bracelet's huge. So you won't need to ask for extra links. Unless maybe you're The Rock. Or King Kong Bundy. Does he still even exist? But yeah, that's a really nice looking watch. All right, on to the next one. Okay, let's get this one open. And I'm not sure which watch this is because I looked at the tracking info and I didn't see anything that matched the tracking number on this package. All right, so this is it. Looks like I have a RollsTimi. So people say, is that a Rolex on your wrist? And I'll say, no, it's a RollsTimi. So, but it comes in a fairly nice box. And we have a cleaning cloth, nice and thin. These nice thin ones are useful when I put the watches on the time grapher, because you don't want a thick one because you want the time grapher to pick up the clicks, but you don't want to put it on it bare because you don't want to scratch up the watch. And let's see, what else we got? We have the unsigned warranty card. We have the instructions. We have a little foam thing, not an actual pillow. And here's the watch. We have a RollsTimi, and it looks a lot like a Daytona. But the nice thing is, though, it doesn't have the colors of your typical Daytona. Rolex doesn't make one with these colors, at least not that I know of. I could be wrong, of course, but I don't remember ever seeing colors like this on a real Daytona. And it looks like it's an automatic. Okay, so this is not an actual chronograph. This is a multi-function watch. So it looks like a Daytona, but these wheels, these subdials here, they got the date and the day of the week and all that stuff. 24-hour indicator. This is not an automatic chronograph. An automatic chronograph is very expensive, and you're not going to find them for what I paid for this one. Now, on AliExpress, there is an automatic chronograph going around that you can get for under 200 bucks. And I've just been kind of reluctant to get it because I just don't trust the rest of the watch. And I can't spend almost $200 on a watch that I just don't trust. So I will never probably review that one, because there's got to be a reason why not more of these Amish companies are using that movement. But most of the Amish companies, if they go for a manual or go for a mechanical chronograph, they're using the Siegel ST1900, which is not an automatic though, it's a hand wind movement. And I've reviewed one of those before. They're a very pretty movement, but they're just not automatic. And the whole reason that watches went automatic is when they started getting waterproof, it was just a pain to always have to unwind the crown, unscrew the crown to wind the watch. So that was the whole appeal. But it took a long time for the watch world to come up with a automatic chronograph. There was even kind of a race to do it, and it didn't come out. They didn't start coming out till the late 60s. I think Seiko beat the Swiss watch companies. But that was one of the reasons why the Tag Heuer Monaco had a crown on the left side for a while, because it was to kind of show you that, hey, you don't have to wind this watch. But here it is. It's a nice looking watch, but once again, it's not a chronograph. Let's see. Oh, it looks like we do have real screw down pushers. So that's nice. Because if you ever go swimming with a watch like this, you don't want to press the pushers because it will let in water. All right, the pushers are screw down. Is the crown a screw down? Yeah, the crown's a screw down too. I've actually seen watches before where they had screw down pushers but not a screw down crown, which is kind of pointless. And but no, it's a nice looking watch. The colors are, like I said, they're unusual. Now we do have a display case back, and the display case back is tinted. I could never understand why watch companies ever do that. The whole point of a display case back is so you can easily see the movement. So why would they tint it? So that just seems odd, strange, weird. Who knows? Then it looks like we have your oyster style clasp, and it does not have on-the-fly adjustment. So you got to use the micro adjust, which is going to be difficult. You have to pull out this, and then you have to get a little tool to move everything. It's just a pain. And it looks like these are similar to the Pagani design, where they only have one side where you can actually get the tool in, not both. All right, let's put it on the wrist and see what it looks like. Here's the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks nice. It wears nice. And it looks like I can get 4 fingers underneath, so the bracelet's plenty big. And the bracelet has push pins, not screw pins. And it looks like I'm getting a little sun through the window, so I apologize for that. It's early in the morning. I need some better blinds on my window. Okay, well, that's the unboxing. 2 watches, 2 nice watches. And thank you for watching my unboxing video. And I will be back with another review. If you like these watches, be sure to buy them from my affiliate link. And I might get a small commission. Then I might be able to buy better watches, such as that glycine that I'm wearing right now. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.